And we are back, but more importantly, the 3-4-2-1 is back. Yes, the formation that took the back end of FIFA 23 by storm is now, in my opinion, the most meta formation in the game. So much so that in the last 3 weekend leagues, I went 16 wins, 18 wins, then 17 wins. That is 51 and 9 for those of you who can't count.
I didn't know you were good at maths though.
My best 3 finishes in champs so far this year, pretty much only using this formation. It is back, it is better than ever, and today I'm going to give you the custom tactics. So this is actually going to be a 2-part video. This video is purely going to be the actual in-game instructions and custom tactics. Then I'm going to have a separate video that I'm going to release immediately after this one. That's then going to be a little bit more in depth as to what players you should put in each position and how to make the most of this formation. So if you're interested in a little bit more in-depth analysis of how to get the most out of this formation, make sure to check out that video, available in the link in the description and at the end of this video. But as for this one, it is just going to be purely and simply the player instructions and the custom tactics you can get to using this formation straight away. Before we get into it, as always, if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And let's just get straight into it. I'm not going to mess around, and we're going to jump straight in to the player instructions, because for some reason, whenever I watch videos like this, they do the tactics first, but how can you get full understanding of the tactics unless you actually know the player instructions first? So we're going to start with the player instructions, starting off with the goalkeeper, who I have set to come for crosses and sweeper keeper, giving you the most chance of your goalkeeper preventing any sort of cutbacks or balls over the top, the things that are obviously very overpowered at the moment. We want the goalkeeper to be as involved as possible in stopping that from happening. The back 3 are set to absolute fully default. Stay back while attacking, normal interceptions, and stick to positions. You do not have to worry about the centre-backs in any way, shape, or form. The 2 central midfielders, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. They are set to stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box, normal interceptions, stick to position, and cover centre. Basically, the job of these 2 players is to just be there. Be in the middle of the pitch. Don't go too far forward, but also don't drop too far back. Be in your position, be available for passes at all times. The wide players are set to come back on defence, stay wide, get in behind, again stay on edge of the box, and normal interceptions. The reason for the comeback on defence is firstly so we can defend in a 5-back if required, but also to stop those overlapping runs that a lot of people are using on their fullbacks, be it in a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-2-1, or 4-4-2, and any of these formations where players are using their fullbacks to get in behind the outside of our fullbacks. We want our right mid and left mid to come back on defence in order to prevent that from happening. They're on stay wide for the complete opposite effect, meaning that they can be wider than our opposition fullbacks, and then with the getting behind instruction, push them as far back and as far wide as possible. Again, hence the stay wide. Again, hence the stay on edge of box of cross. Basically, we want these 2 wide players as pinned out wide and down the field as possible when we're attacking. And we want them to come back as quickly as possible to assist the defence when we are defending. That just leaves the 3 forward players, and all 3 of them are set to stay central, get in behind, and stay forward. Essentially meaning that once our wide players have stretched our opposition defence out wide, these 3 players can then penetrate in the gaps in through our opposing defensive line to then get the goals. So those are the player instructions. Let's now see how it works in terms of custom tactics. Defensively, we are just set to balance. Nothing fancy about it. We don't need to apply the heavy press. What actually ends up happening if you press with this formation is you just have too many players forward and 1 good ball in behind, and essentially you could be left in a 4v3 situation, which you don't want. So we're set to balanced. Equally, that's why the depth is set to 55. We don't want the auto press. We don't want the auto offside. We want those midfielders to come back enough to assist the defence so we don't get overrun on counter-attacks. Width is set to 70. Again, that is because we've got the 3 back with the 2 wide players coming back, just to make things nice and narrow, a nice compact 5 to stop our opponents either going round with the fullbacks or trying to driven pass through the middle of our team. As for the build-up play, we're set to fast build-up and direct passing, allowing us to get up the field as quickly as possible. We want to drill it from our centre-backs to our wide players, into those forward players, making those runs in behind the opposition defence. Width is set to 45 because at the moment, so many players are running such narrow defensive formations. Not being funny, mine's literally set to 30 here as well. But our width is set to 45 because defences are narrow and we want to still be penetrating those gaps. Remember, the front three are set to get in behind. So they're going to have to be narrow enough to get through the gaps between the fullback and the centre-backs. That's why the width's at 45. Players in the box is set to 3. Pretty self-explanatory. We've got 3 forwards set to getting behind. We want them all getting in the box. So the players in the box is set to 6. And as always, corners and free kicks are at your leisure. It is completely up to you how you want to set up your corners and free kicks because they are default shapes. It has nothing to do with what formation you are playing. So set your corners and free kicks as and where you decide. My corner is obviously set to 1. Check out my corner tutorial on this side of the screen, not this side. And free kicks, I don't really do anything from these sort of free kicks. I basically just shoot every single time I get the option to. And that's going to be it for this part 1. Give this formation a go. Just have fun with it. Like, it's 3-4-2-1. It's the most attacking formation in the game. It's designed just so you can pile players forward, have a bit of fun, have a bit of chaos. But at times, you can really control matches with it as well. And like I said, look out for part 2. The video should be up by the time you're watching this video, where we'll go into a lot more in-depth analysis as to actually make the most out of this formation. But if you were just here for those instructions, hopefully you enjoyed the video. And again, drop a like on it if you enjoyed it. Comment down below if you're going to be giving this formation a go. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the part 2 analysis.